Ready?
I'm so ready.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Gaming with the Bros Cast.
Yeah. Hey, new name, almost new year, new us. We thought it'd be time to change it up a little bit.
Yeah, and this is like literally just today. I texted Nick a few hours ago. I was like, "Hey, I'm working on like new designs for the artwork, and I kind of like started doing a couple of doodles with that name in mind." And I was like, "You know what? It might be a good idea to change it to kind of shorten it or whatever." Um,
Yeah, it
but
kind of
yeah,
rolled off the tongue better
Yeah,
than
so I got something in the works so I want something a little bit more flashy, I guess, for the artwork. Cause like the one I created, like I did it myself and I have like no artistic skills whatsoever. I just made it like on one of my tablets or whatever. And kind of just did it super quickly just because we needed something to get the podcast going. Um
literally needed some sort of artwork.
and actually, it turned out pretty
Yeah.
decent for like I think it's kind of cool, but um yeah, new year, new us. We need a new some new artwork. And
Yeah, maybe
Nick,
I'll do a new song or a new intro song for us.
you don't even know this, but so this is going to be our last live stream on the Atomic Reptar 92 channel because we have our official Gaming with the Broscast Twitch channel.
Woo woo.
So
We're official, baby.
just go to twitch.tv/gaming with the bros cast, and that's BROSCAST, all like one word or whatever. I just live tweeted it, so we're ready to go.
Wow.
Yeah, we're ready, man. New year, we're on the ball. So yeah, follow us there. We will. This will be our last show, and we'll do a couple of tweets and stuff just to let people know. But then we will move over to that channel, and yeah, we'll go from there. So
Yeah, that'll be a little
yes,
bit easier because it'll be separate from your
yeah,
stuff.
and then you kind of know what you're getting into. Like, you know, it's a little bit easier to kind of differentiate what I
Exactly.
do versus what the podcast is doing. So,
Yeah.
and then if we ever do like any live streams, like I know we eventually want to do like Among Us or something, we'll do it there too. Like anything where it's like us two playing, we'll do it over there, on that channel. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the new year, man. I got a new
Yeah.
microphone, which we'll talk about here in a second, and
Got a
I'm
new
excited.
desk.
A new desk. Yeah, I'm not on the floor anymore. It's great.
I'm in a new location now too. I mean,
Yeah,
this is
you're
just
officially moved. I saw the pictures you sent. You got started getting everything kind of set
yeah,
up.
yeah. We got
So
everything set up.
how's your week, man? We Christmas came and went as it usually does so fast,
Yep.
and I mean it was good seeing all the family and stuff like that. But how was your week?
Week was good. It was nice just to be at home and just relax. I only worked a few days last week and then took some time off. And then I have all this week off as well.
Yeah,
So dude, it was just nice to finish up Tuesday and know that I didn't have to be at work until the new year.
exactly.
So been chilling out. Um, did a lot of shopping. Did a lot of Christmas
Of
shopping.
course, of
Just
course.
yeah, yeah. It's crazy. I mean, the the day or two before Christmas, you go to any shopping center and it's like a madhouse.
Yeah, I went to Walmart the day before. Yeah, Christmas Eve.
I bet it was crazy.
It wasn't. Yeah, it was a little crazy, and it's funny because I was just getting a few things, and I was checking on some stuff, specifically like an Echo Dot, one of the newer ones, and I forgot that Walmart doesn't sell any like Amazon branded product. So
Oh, I didn't know that.
I ended up getting what I needed. And I went to the front and it was just packed full of people. So I was like, well, let me go back to electronics because you can pay there. And I
Nice.
was in line. I was like the third person in line and it was going pretty quick. And then I got up to the counter and I maybe had 15 things. I had some grocery stuff for our Christmas Eve dinner and then a couple like gifts. And the lady was like, "Can I help you?" And I was like, "Can I check out here?" And she's like, "Yeah." And you could tell she was just like kind of peeved or whatever.
Yeah.
And then like I started putting my stuff up, and she was like, "Well, I can't take anything that needs to be weighed." And I looked down, and I was like, "Well, I don't have anything that needs to be weighed, so we're good." And she's like, "Yeah." She's like, we normally don't take, um, you know, grocery products because this is electronics, and we just don't have a lot of room back here." And I was like, "Well, I know that, but I don't know if you've been up front here recently. It's kind of crazy. And she's like, everyone does that. And I said, well, there's 2 people behind me. So no, not everyone is doing it. So you can, I was like, you can just calm down a little bit, man. You're getting
Oh
a
my
little bit
god.
spicy with me. So,
Get into a fight in the electronics section of Walmart.
yeah, that's why I was like, I'm just coming back here just to cash out, whatever. And I'm no trouble. I swear. I'm no trouble.
Just a good
Um,
boy.
I'm just a good little boy. But, but yeah, that was interesting. And I always just like going out like to places like the day or like the week of Christmas, just because it's so crazy. I just like seeing people run around with chickens with their head cut off, trying to find their gifts,
Oh yeah.
whatever.
I mean,
And
it's
I have a bad habit of doing that too, where like like the end of November with Black Friday, we'll get a ton of stuff, and then like 2 weeks before Christmas, we're scrambling. Even though we got stuff, it's just like, oh no, we gotta figure it out. But we ended up
you
making it
forget this
happen.
person or this person.
Yeah, or you just like look at your stuff and you're like, I need more. It happens every year. Like I put everything out in front of the tree, and then I'm like, I need more stuff for the kids, you know? So, yeah,
More
it was a
stuff.
good week. It was good having the whole week off. First day back at work today. And it was pretty good. It wasn't too busy, so that was good.
Nice. Yeah, yeah. And then I came to Charlotte on Saturday and kind of finished moving in. We moved 2 dressers upstairs, or I guess up 2 flights of stairs, and man,
God.
so Alicia's dresser is like made of real wood, and it's pretty
Oh my
long.
God.
So it's like
Yeah.
150, 200 pounds, and it was just the 2 of us there. So her parents have a hand truck, so we like put it on the hand truck, and then I had to like hoist it up the stairs, one stair at a time. I think I pulled something in my back or something, but like I've been checking my Fitbit like every day, and I think I've walked like 30 flights of stairs or 35
Oh my
flights of
God.
stairs a day, just like bringing boxes up every day. Just like there's always one more thing that we need to do.
Yep.
So it's been crazy, but it's paid off. Like we love the loft area upstairs, and yeah, really happy with it.
Sweet.
And then
Yeah,
I'm in Alicia's old bedroom down here. This is my permanent podcasting and music setup. So I got my own
nice.
desk down here, so I don't have to
Dude,
like.
yeah, you guys like a whole nice setup. Probably way more room than you had in your apartment.
Oh, I had like just a little folding table that only held my laptop and maybe my little converter thing. But
Hell yeah.
yeah,
Well, it's like I'm so excited. Like I've had a desk before, like the one behind me or whatever, and it was cool at the time, but it's just not a ton of room on it.
Yeah.
And this one's like pretty solid, and it was pretty easy to put together, which was always nice. It's got like a
Nice.
little, it's got like a little cubby on the left side, and then it's got like a little permanent like microphone or headset rack or whatever.
Ooh.
So yeah, super solid. I mean, it was like, I mean, I got it as a Christmas present, but it was like an $80 desk. Like it's pretty nice.
Is it like a specific like? Is it a gaming desk?
I think it was labeled as one. I don't,
Okay.
because I always try to defer away from like using terms like gamer, because as soon as you throw in that term to Amazon, like the prices are going to be skyrocketed just for no reason, just because whatever. So it's the same thing for like wedding, like whenever you guys, when you have your wedding, anytime you type in wedding anything, like the prices are like tripled for no reason, just other than the fact that it says wedding in the title.
Just because they can.
Just because they can, and people buy it, so it's whatever. But yeah, it's nice just to have a nice setup. I've got like my Amazon Echo going now, my Dot or whatever, which we've had for years, but I finally put it up, and it was cool because I got my pop filter delivered today, and like I got a little notification like through the Dot. It was like a little ding or whatever. So I was like, oh, cool.
That's cool. I didn't know I did that.
I didn't know it either until like I heard the ding, and I looked at my phone and it was like, your package is delivered. I was like, okay, sweet. So that's been cool. It's all the technology is just coming together.
Man, it's all integrated.
Yeah, one day I'll have a smart home, and I won't have to walk at all, and I could just zoom everywhere,
from room to room.
We get like 5 hoverboards, and then just go anywhere. So
yeah. Speaking of transporting, Santa brought me a little Oculus Quest 2 for Christmas.
Yes, let's talk about this thing because I had a chance to play for about, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes maybe, if that.
Yeah. And
What I played, I loved it. So go
and
ahead and jump on into that.
you played Beat Saber and Super Hot, right?
Yeah, yeah. Which, man, like I've played a little bit of your PSVR,
Mhm.
um, and I think we only tried that Batman game.
You
I think
played
that's the only thing I
Batman
played. I don't
and
think I
Rush of
tried
Blood.
Resident Evil.
Rush of Blood, you probably tried because Resident Evil
Oh
wasn't out
yeah,
at the time.
yeah, I did try Rush of Blood.
You might have gotten
Um,
a little motion sick from that one,
yeah, I
or
did, I
someone might
did.
have. Yeah, because that one's kind of wild.
Yeah,
But yeah, so let's talk about Beat Saber first. That
yeah.
game, it's also so for those who don't know, and it's a pretty popular game by now, but it's a
Yeah.
rhythm game where you have two different colored lightsabers and you're physically swinging them at these blocks that are coming towards you, and those blocks are colored and they also have direction input, so you'll either swing up or left, right, diagonal.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, that's about as simple as it gets, but you can play a bunch of songs, difficulties. I know there's a 360-degree mode that I want to try where you can
Oh my
you can
god.
see him coming from like all around you, I guess, and you can take
Wow.
him on from any angle. And I'm going through the campaign right now, and I was like, what kind of campaign can he do with like rhythm game?
Yeah.
And it's pretty interesting because like some of the challenges are like, okay, you, you can only miss this many blocks, but then some of them are like, you have to miss this many blocks, or you have to miss a minimum of this many. It's like you have to miss like 6 cuts
Mm-hmm.
during the song, and you have to like strategically do it. And then one's like, you have to get a minimum combo of 26, but a max combo of 30. So after you hit that 26 combo, you have to intentionally miss,
Wow.
and then you have to keep going and get 20 above 26 again. And there's
Hmm.
just a bunch of like random stuff like that. And then probably my favorite one is one that requires you to move a certain number of meters in total during a song. So you
Oh
like
wow.
every movement you do, you have to like really like go for it and do it like as big of a movement as possible.
That's
And
awesome.
then there's another one like a minimum or a maximum movement amount. So there's a min and a max. So like one of them you have to like be very slight with your movements, and the other one you have to like go all out.
Wow. Okay. That's pretty
Yeah.
interesting.
So it's crazy. I kind of want to get some of the music packs. There's
Yeah,
a
I mean,
there's a
from
Panic at the
from
Disco one that I want to
oh
get.
nice.
Linkin
Like there's
Park.
the short amount of time I played it, it definitely gave me like that feeling I got when I first played Guitar Hero and Rock Band and stuff for the first time. Because like I mean, and it's super simple to like, it's super easy to pick up. Like
Yeah.
it's way easier than like Guitar Hero or Rock Band ever was.
It's really intuitive.
So I mean, you pick it up and you just kind of start swinging away, and it's like once you start to get the rhythm and those beats start dropping, like
Yeah.
it's so much fun, man. I had a
It feels good.
blast. I had a blast, and I was just like, I mean, it's funny that we did the same exact thing. It's like we did like the easier, normal, whatever. Then we jumped
It
to
went
like
straight to
the
expert.
expert plus mode, and it was just like no. And then I dropped it
Yeah,
back to
it's
hard, and
crazy.
but yeah, it was a lot of fun, and I definitely would have liked to play that again.
Yeah,
Sure.
that's probably one of my favorites so far. And then you played Super Hot as well.
Yeah, Super Hot was awesome. Like it was
Yes,
very
dude.
like it almost. I mean, obviously, you're not feeling any pain or anything, but it's like when you get shot or something, like
Especially when it comes like right at your head.
yeah,
Oh my god, it's a
yeah,
pretty pretty
it's pretty.
realistic, I guess, in its combat.
Yeah,
And
and then the fact that like you can watch it on your phone or whatever, so like someone can
yeah,
still
yeah,
you can still like be a part of it. Like you're not just in a room by yourself or in a room with somebody and they're just watching you look like an idiot. They can actually see what you're doing, which is I think is really really smart.
right.
So, and then I guess you could somehow get that over to the big screen or big TV or something. If
Yeah,
you
I
wanted
actually
to
have a
like,
cable where I can plug my phone in to the
okay,
TV. So
so yeah, even better. So if you have like like a little party or something, you can, pass it around and watch everybody play Beat Saber or whatever. So that's pretty cool.
yeah. So I've played Super Hot on the Xbox. I think I played it last year,
Okay.
but like now that I've played it, like I finished it in VR, and now that I've played it, I'm like, I can't imagine playing this game on anything else.
Yeah.
Because it's just like it feels so cool.
Yeah.
Like you're
For
literally
sure.
like doing like a matrix dodge to dodge bullets and catching guns and then like turning around and shooting people. And you can block bullets with metal objects or glass
Mm-hmm.
objects. And they just kind of thought of everything. And then there's a lot of like challenge modes and endless modes that you can play. So I've been doing a lot of those. Yeah, so Super Hots, man, that game, so
Yeah.
good. But I did get a few more games that I want to talk about.
Sweet.
The Climb was one of them,
Okay.
and that was the first one I got actually. And I played a little bit more of that one today, and it's really cool. Like it's kind of like I don't want to say a one-trick pony, but I mean all you're doing is climbing a mountain,
Yeah.
and there's like different difficulties and different challenges that come with it. But
Mm-hmm.
that one I'm not like super high on yet. Maybe that'll change once I get a little deeper into it and level up some. But
Is there like a story mode and stuff, or is it just like
no,
different scenarios, different like levels, I guess?
different environments really.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's like yeah,
Yeah, I didn't play that one, but I can definitely see what you're talking about. Um, something like Beat Saber, I mean, that's something that you break out whenever you have friends over, or just something. If you want like a little quick workout or something, just play that. Like,
yeah,
it's just so much fun.
yeah. Like I don't know if I would whip out the Climb to like show off VR. Like I'd probably whip out Beat Saber and Super Hot.
Yeah, that would be the
And
first thing. And they're like, "What else you got?" And they'd be like, "Oh, well, I got this game called The Climb, and it's pretty cool." But
yeah,
yeah, something to like demonstrate VR. Yeah, I would definitely do like Beat Saber first because that, God, I can't.
it's so fun.
Kaylee really wants to buy one, an Oculus Quest.
Yeah, yeah. When she was playing the Climb, she was pretty excited.
Yeah.
She really liked that one. I got two more games. So one of them is 11 table tennis. And
Okay.
it's
Sounds
just
pretty
table
fun.
tennis. It's about as realistic as it can get. Like to the point where Alicia was playing earlier, and I think she was like trying to pick up a ball from the table or put a paddle on the table, and she like physically tried to put something on the table. It was like, oh,
Oh
shit,
wow.
there's nothing there. But it feels just like ping pong. Like you can put
Wow.
the same spin you put on the ball, like depending on how you hit it, and then you just like physically toss it up and throw it. And you can play. I played online against someone,
Oh wow.
and I
Okay.
think it was a kid because
You
it sounded
destroyed
like
him.
it be yeah, and it sounded like a kid. They were like, can you hear me? I didn't have
Oh
my
wow.
audio turned on, but it just shows like a little cat head, and then you can see their controllers. So we were like, doing some dance moves
That's pretty
to each other.
awesome. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was really cool and it worked like a lot better than I expected.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a good one. And then the last one I got, and you're gonna like this one.
Walking in.
Walking Dead
Nice.
Sinners.
How is it?
It's rad, man. It's so cool. And like I think beforehand Resident Evil 7 was like the staple of
Yeah.
VR, like from my perspective, from what I played. This almost blows it out of the water in terms of what you can do with
Dang.
the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's just like Resident Evil wasn't built around VR.
Right.
It was
They
just kind
just
of
yeah.
implemented in. Like this game was like completely built around VR. Like something as simple as like reloading a gun, you have to physically remove the clip, get a clip, put it back in, and cock
Oh
the gun.
man.
And like so you'll have two weapons at your side, so you like physically reach down to grab those. You have a weapon behind your back, so you have to reach behind and grab that. And
Wow.
like weapons have weight to them, so like if you have an axe, you can't just use one hand because it's too heavy. You have to use two hands and
Yeah.
like physically like really come down on a zombie.
How is the walking in this game? Is it like kind of that warp walking?
No, it's full walking. You can customize it to however you like, but
Okay.
you
Do
just
you use
move the
like a
joystick
thumb?
forwards.
Oh, okay. Sweet.
Yeah. And it's like I wouldn't recommend that to someone who just started with VR because like since I'd played Resident Evil, I was kind of accustomed to like moving and looking around and
Yeah.
all that at the same time. But like I can see like someone getting pretty motion sick. But there's a lot of options where you can kind of turn down those effects and you can turn incrementally. instead of
When
smooth
you
turning.
played Resident Evil, did you sit down the most of the time playing?
For Resident Evil, I did. I sat down most of the
Okay.
time. Actually, it's probably half the time.
Okay.
But
But
for this
this
one,
sounds like you have to be actually like kind of active.
you can sit, but it would be a little awkward. Like, and I
Yeah.
sat last night and played, but it's a little weird because you'll be like touching the couch when you grab your gun from your side or your knife.
Oh, okay.
So it's easier, and you can like physically crouch down in the game
I
and
guess something
pick
like
stuff
that
up on
you
the
would
ground.
I'd feel like you want to be standing just to be more immersed into the world. And
Yeah.
something like that, I just don't know. I mean, with VR in general, how long can you kind of sustain playing? Does it bother you at some point? Do you get like a headache
I,
or
I played.
anything?
I probably played for an hour or an hour and a half straight last night, and the VR set was kind of getting heavy
Yeah.
on my head. And then
Did you feel like weird when you took it off and like you're like, oh, this crappy dark dingy world?
I have like kind of had moments where, like, not right after I take it off, but a little bit after I take the headset off, I kind of get a
Yeah.
feeling that I'm still in a VR world.
You broke the simulation.
For the simulation. Yes, it's really weird, but
Yeah, when I first put it on, like I got like that not woozy feeling, but like just like a weird sensation.
your body's just like adjusting to
Yeah,
kind of
just
a new
not.
world, in a
Yeah.
weird way.
So
Yeah. And then one of the coolest things about this game is if a zombie's coming at you or if you're walking up to a zombie, you can like, well, for one, you can like pull out like a screwdriver or like a knife and you can flip it so you can either have it like at a stabbing or like a whatever. You can
yeah.
flip the way it
Okay.
I guess you have it in your hand, but you can physically grab a zombie by the head and hold them, and then you just like kind of go into them with a
Oh my
screwdriver,
god.
or
So it's
like
like
go in
pretty.
from
It's
under the
like
chin.
pretty like bloody then.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it's pretty. The graphics aren't great. I can't
Yeah.
remember if it's better or worse than Resident Evil, but
Probably worse, but
but
it
it
sounds like
really,
there's more of an open environment, right, than Resident Evil ever was.
yeah,
Okay.
there's a bit of a more open environment, and then there's a lot of crafting in the game. I made what's Negan's bat called?
Oh, Lucille.
Yeah, I made Lucille and used that. So it's pretty
So
cool. And then
who do you play as? Is it like a new character like within the universe, or is it
yeah, it's a new character,
okay?
and you're in New Orleans.
Okay, so nothing to do with the actual. Okay,
No, I
that's
think
cool.
you just
That's
kind
good.
of craft stuff. Like I crafted the sheriff, which is a revolver.
Yeah.
That's kind of a play on Rick's gun.
Yeah.
But you don't really see any original or see any existing characters from The Walking Dead from what I know, and I'm only like
Right.
2 hours in. But
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's good. It's always good to get away from some of that stuff, just because, like, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I haven't watched Walking Dead in a long time, but I mean, I also haven't watched either spin-off show, so
mhm,
I don't know, kind of got over it or bored of it, I guess. But that's always
yeah,
good that they can get away from like that universe and kind of do something different.
yeah, it's cool, and it gives you player choice too.
Sweet.
I've only had a few scenarios, but one of them I actually kind of felt bad that I I had just gotten to this new area and I turned a corner and this guy, he was trying to, like, I guess he was trying to get my money and he had a gun pointed at me.
For money, what's he gonna do with money?
I don't know. He was just trying to rob me and steal my stuff.
Okay.
So I shot him, and then I saw that his weapon was a toy weapon. It was like a plastic weapon.
Oh,
So it was like, oh, I could have like potentially befriended that guy, but I just straight up killed him. So we'll see what happens, but
probably nothing.
probably nothing.
Whoops.
Yeah, so that game's really fun, really really fun.
Sweet. So is there like on the Oculus? Because I'm not super familiar with VR really in general. Are there like a lot of mainline games on this thing?
What do you mean, like story games, story
Just
driven games?
AAA games that you would kind of come to expect to come to.
Not really.
Just a lot of like kind of one-off, like specifically made for this machine kind of thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so. I
Is
haven't really seen any.
is that Star Wars Squadron game on there?
No, it's not.
It's
Not
not.
from what I've
Oh,
seen.
man, that'd been pretty cool to play too.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully they bring on like Half-Life Alex or something at some
Yeah.
point.
I don't know if we can run it. You might have to. I think. Well, if I were to like plug the Quest up to my computer, I think I could play it from there. But
Yeah,
I would just need a computer that could play
something like
the
that.
Quest. Yeah.
Okay.
So I could like if I wanted to, I would just have to get a better computer. But I could still
Yeah.
use that VR set to play, which is cool.
Okay. That's well. I mean, like we talked about that before, but that's just kind of the coolest thing about the Quest is that it's just completely wireless and you don't have
Yeah.
to. And for them, like I don't know, most mainline stuff you're gonna want to play on your Series X or PS5. So like
Hmm.
stuff like that. So it's cool that you have like these other options to play.
Yeah, this is
So
just icing on the cake at this point.
yeah, exactly.
It's cool. No, it's really fun. Like I've been playing it pretty much every chance I get. It's,
Yeah, no, it sounds awesome.
it's rad.
So it sounds cool. And most of the games are what like between 40 and $10, something like that.
Yeah, the most expensive was Walking Dead, which makes sense because that's like a 16-hour game, and then
Yeah.
cheapest one I got was Super Hot, and that's like $18.
Was the Walking
Which
was that a $60 game?
No, Walking Dead was 40.
40. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely would like to get my hands up one at some point. You definitely persuaded me on getting one. Not that you were trying to persuade me, but they're cool.
There is one game that we could potentially play, and I don't know how this would work, but we could play it over streaming.
Okay.
It's called Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that game.
Yeah. But like
So-
I see the bomb that I'm diffusing,
Yeah.
and you would look at a manual and try to help me defuse the bomb.
I think it's on a lot of different stuff.
Yeah. I think it's on
but
like
yeah.
phones and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would definitely be something fun to play.
Mhm.
All right, any final thoughts before we jump into the big list, the big game of the year stuff?
Let's just jump right in.
All right, cool. So
Game of the year.
let's start with I guess stuff we've been playing from previous years and just kind of briefly kind of shout that stuff out.
Okay.
You want me to go first? You want to go first?
Yeah, you can go first.
Okay. So I'll start. Ring Fit Adventure was one of those things. I think you had gotten it for me for Christmas last year,
Mhm.
but I never actually played it until this year. And I've recently gotten back into it, and yeah, I mean it's a legitimate source of exercise. I mean, you wouldn't think it was at first, just holding the thing, but once you start going and unlocking all the different just exercises, I mean, there's you start building up a sweat after a
Yeah,
while.
you
Like
do.
it definitely works.
It's crazy.
I think the running in place thing is it doesn't really do much for me. Maybe, and again, it could be just because of the Joy-Con drift, but just like when they want you to like raise your legs up to go through water or like go up a
Do the
staircase or
high
something,
knees.
high knees, like it doesn't really register half the time. Same thing for doing the squats. So I think that's
Yeah.
definitely more of just my issues with the Joy-Con itself than anything. But yeah, I mean that game,
It's such a good game.
it's such a good game, man. It's the best. It's the best version of like a exercise thing that I mean, because Nintendo's been trying to do this for forever with Wii Fit and all that stuff, and they just haven't really ever nailed it. But with this, I mean, they did. It's fantastic.
Yeah. And it's
It's-
got like a
it's-
bunch of different modes you can do. Like you don't just
Yeah.
do a story mode. You can do the music mode,
Mhm.
which is kind of like a rhythm game, and then just like regular exercises, like sets of whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I would usually do like 2 or 3 story stuff, and then just jump into like to end it with like a set of aerobics or core stuff or whatever, you know. And that's the way I would kind of end it in the exercise. But yeah, a lot of fun. You want to jump into one?
Yeah, I'll do one.
What you got?
And just to clarify, these are games that came out in previous years that we played for the first time. So these
Yeah,
aren't going to be
yep.
included in our top 10,
No,
unfortunately.
no. Yeah.
One of mine is Gears 5. Oh my God.
yes.
I wish
Yes.
I wish I would have played this last year because it might have been my game of the year last year.
Yeah, I think it was my second last year. I think Sekiro was my first.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gears 5. What a
Just
game.
Incredible story.
I want
and-
to play. They just added a new story campaign to the game that we need to play.
Okay.
It's based off of the I can't remember the mode in the game. It's like the kind of the suicidal mission, whatever, where you have to like plant a bomb in the nest and then you have to escape.
Hive Buster, is that what it's called?
Hive Busters. Yep. So those characters like have their own campaign now, so that's cool. Which I think this might be the first time Gears has had some sort of campaign. I'm pretty sure. So that's
like a campaign, cool. Like add-on DLC.
Yeah, like an add-on that wasn't like multiplayer stuff. And it's free. It's included with Game Pass, so that's even better. Any other thoughts on Gears?
No, it was just an incredible story, and very touching at the end, and without spoilers, it was a very hard decision to make at the end of the game, and I'm very excited to see how that carries over to the next one.
Yeah, I wonder what's going to be canon.
Yeah,
I don't know.
No idea.
Next up, Luigi's Mansion 3. Fantastic. Like the game's so much better in co-op, I think. Just playing that with my wife Brittany has been so much fun. We still haven't beaten it yet, but we still need to. But we're very close. We're just like super slowly doing it.
What floor are you on now?
Like 14 or 13. I think there's 15 floors total.
So you've gone past the point where the cat steals those keys and brings back to the floors?
Yeah. We got past that part.
Okay.
Yeah, super fun game. I mean, it's Luigi's Mansion. And it kind of mixes 1 and 2 together, which is nice. Kind of that bite size, like kind of chunk, like, hey, let's do an hour on the floor and then be done. That kind of thing.
But it doesn't kick you out like
no.
Like the second one does, which is good.
Yeah, not like Dark Moon. What's your next mention?
You're gonna love this one. Slay the Spire is my next one.
I forgot you played that. Oh my gosh.
God, I still
play it so much.
I played it so much. That game is. I did not expect to like it as much as I did because I'm normally not a big like card game person.
Yeah, but it's so much different, right, than a typical.
Yeah, it's almost just like a turn-based game or turn-based RPG or whatever. And normally I'm not a fan of roguelikes either, but between this and Dead Cells,
just got you,
and Hades this year,
yeah.
I mean, I've kind of been on a roguelike kick.
Nice,
for whatever reason, but
you went on a roguelike quest, and I went on a kind of a Metroidvania kind of thing this year. Speaking of Hollow Knight, probably one of my favorite games of all time. Like it's freaking difficult at some points and frustrating as hell, and you just want to put it down. I mean, there's probably one boss that I died 50 or 60 times on. And I was like starting to yell, and then like I looked it up, and there's like I just needed to equip this one rune, and I beat it on my second try, I think.
Yeah.
So, man, but what a game, man! Just it brings in like the Metroidvania stuff that I love. It's pretty heavily Dark Souls inspired with the bosses, and just like kind of coming up on random bosses that aren't necessarily part of the story.
Yeah.
And just the world, man, it's so cool. It's such a cool
well-built world. It works so well.
Yep. And then just all the unlocks you get, all the fast travels you unlock, the eventual ability you get where you can save somewhere and then you can go kind of travel off, and then you can work back to that spot that's not necessarily like a save point. That changed the game for me too. Like it was just a lot of different little things that eventually added up to just be so amazing.
Yeah, it just clicks.
And I wasn't even happy, or I wasn't even mad that the final boss wasn't even really that hard. It was just kind of like a breath of fresh air. Like I was like, oh, thank God, because you looked really hard.
yeah, it looks really hard, but
still, like I'll probably go back at some point and kind of finish up the map or whatever, and maybe we'll see. But
it's a big map.
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, I've unlocked a lot of it too, and I don't know if I unlocked some DLC stuff because I played it on the Switch, which was perfect. Like just playing that in handheld mode while I watched TV or watched a movie or something was awesome.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to play it. Like I don't know if I would have played it as much as I did if I didn't have it on the Switch.
Yeah.
My next one is The Witcher 3.
Yes.
Yeah, that was early. That was the first game I beat this year.
Yeah, because you started playing it and then I started playing it again.
Yeah.
I actually got this for Christmas. The Witcher book, the first one.
Nice.
Yeah. So
that's
I'm excited.
great.
I'm excited to read that.
Yeah. Yeah, Witcher's great game.
Yeah.
The side stories are amazing, and
Some of the best I've ever seen in like a game for side quests and just side quests. It's crazy.
yeah. And I got around to playing Hearts of Stone, which is the first DLC,
Yep.
and that was a pretty good story. I haven't played Blood and Wine yet, but I still want to go back at some point.
Yeah.
I might transfer my save over to the Xbox and play it there if I can. I think I can do that since I have it on both. I might have to
what?
like read because I played on the Switch.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so I might try to transfer my save and just see how it looks on the Series X. And
Yeah.
just
I need to
play
fire it
Blood
up
and
and
Wine
look
on
at it.
Yeah. I still think Bloody Baron is one of the best quests.
Oh,
of
oh
all
my
time.
god. And it's so long. Like I forgot how long it was until the
Yeah.
second time I played it. Yeah, just all the stuff with the bog witches and it's just a very messed up storyline.
Yeah, it's a really really long one. Like
Yeah.
probably like 8 hours.
Yeah, it's super long. It's one
Wild.
of the best though. It's incredible. Incredible.
Anything else you got?
Yeah, I've got Ori and the Blind Forest,
Nice.
which I did not play until this year. I played it. I wanted to play it so I can get to Will o' the Wisps, and I think I'm better for it because I just playing those back to back was just so much fun. And even going to Will o' the Wisps, I did not get like any sort of fatigue at all. Like it was very nice just immediately seeing those differences. Man, Ori, again, just incredible Metroidvania-esque style game. It's charming. Like the world is so beautiful. All the unlocks are just so much fun. Getting the double jump and stuff like that. And then Will o' the Wisps, I think, just improves on it in every single way. Other than obviously the major frame rate issues that had at launch, but has since been since been fixed. And Ori, man, it's
so good.
Can't wait for a third one. Hope they do some DLC for the second one. Probably not at this point, but yeah, I'll play any sort of Ori game. It's incredible.
It really is.
Do you have anything else?
That was on my list as well, but
Okay.
I do have one more, and that's Forza Horizon 4.
Okay.
Didn't get around to playing this one until the Series X came out, and I really just wanted something that was like a graphical showcase.
Yeah.
But I ended up playing a ton of this game, and I'm not a big racing sim fan, but yeah, this one's just fun, man. It's just fun just driving. It's just fun driving around, crashing, doing some drifts, doing some races.
Yeah, racing games are, and it's great that it's on Game Pass too, because I could never see myself buying a racing game, but if it's there, like I'll check it out.
Yeah, 100%.
But yeah, I can't remember if we discussed where this game fell, but I put it on my previous year's game, and it was Jedi Fallen Order.
Oh, okay. I put that on my current year list. I thought we said December was a cutoff.
Maybe.
I might just have 9 games then.
You don't have a 10th game?
Well, that was my 10th game.
You don't have another game?
Oh yeah, I can do another game. All right.
I mean, we can do it. We can just do it this time. I'll have to adjust my list though.
Do you have anything that's like bottom tier on your list that you just added on because you didn't have?
Yeah, but I'd also have to put Jedi up like pretty close to the top of my list for Game of the Year.
Okay, let's leave it off because I don't want to.
I mean, I could.
No, I have another game I can put on there.
Okay.
Oh god. Okay, I think I got it. Yeah, we're good.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Jedi Fallen Order. wow. I mean,
Jesus, yeah, that game is so
just
freaking good.
it's funny that that was like the first game I beat on the Series X. But man, what a just fantastic Star Wars story, a fantastic Dark Souls like game.
Mhm.
Wow, it's just kind of insane. The only thing and the only thing that I kind of wish it had, which makes sense for the universe, was like I kind of wish like your upgrades for your lightsaber affected, like it had attributes, like it had damage, like increased damage and stuff like that. That's the only thing I thought was missing, but it makes sense within that world, so I can't really complain too much about that.
Yeah, I think they, as a part of their deal with Disney or whatever, they couldn't customize the lightsaber in that regard.
Yeah, I mean it makes total sense. Like it's a very very minor gripe within
Yeah,
that game. Um, but other than that, I mean the I thought the just like the gameplay was fun. Just unlocking all the different like lightsaber pieces and BD pieces, just fun. It was just fun like searching for all that stuff. None of it really mattered at the end of the day because it doesn't do anything, but it was still cool just to like go to all these little secret areas and stuff.
yeah, yeah. That's my one gripe is like searching for an optional item or whatever. It's just gonna be like a skin.
Yeah,
It's never gonna
yeah.
be anything that can add to your
Which I mean,
to your
you
power.
get like experience points too, so it doesn't necessarily doesn't mean anything. But as far as like yeah, like increasing your power or increasing your weapon damage, it doesn't do anything.
Yeah,
But yeah, but what a game, man! Like as
yeah,
a
good
as a
game.
person that doesn't care about Star Wars at all until recently here with the Mandalorian and now this, um, yeah, I'm kind of into Star Wars all of a sudden, and I'm not mad about it. So
Into the
yeah,
side stories of
yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, what a game, man! Just what a game! Like the whole thing is so much fun. Had a blast.
Yeah, I loved it all the way through. Yeah, it's so weird that it was the first game that we both finished on the Series X.
Yeah, it was fun. I played like 2 hours of it, and I was like, I'm really into this. And then because I had gotten Assassin's Creed, or we got it or whatever,
Mhm.
and I wasn't super into Assassin's Creed at first, so I was like, I'll just play this, and then I did, and yeah, great game, great game. All right, you ready to jump into our top 10 list here?
Yes. Yeah, I'm ready. Sorry, I've been kind of rearranging my list
Okay.
or numbering them. I had numbered them
Oh,
as
okay,
I was doing that.
gotcha.
But yeah, I'm ready.
All right. You want to start? Well, I guess we'll just go with our top 10. Like we'll start at number 10 and just make our way down, right?
Let's do it that way.
Cool. All right. So I guess I'll go first. At number 10, Super Mario 3D All Stars. Um, and again, maybe it would have been a little bit higher on my list, but I haven't played. I played. I completely finished 64, which was like just
Mhm.
a huge accomplishment in my life. Just because like that was like the one game from my childhood that I never beat or could beat because it was just too hard for like a 6-year-old to do. So
Yeah.
yeah, super happy I went back and just beat it for the first time. Um, and then jumping into Sunshine next and realizing that that game was not as good as I thought it was.
No,
Remember it
it's good,
being.
man. It's the
Um,
truth.
it is the truth. I played like an hour of Galaxy with Kellen. And then at that point I was just kind of like Marioed out because we were playing 3D World and Odyssey, and we just played so much Mario that I was like, I'm ready to take a break. So maybe if I had played some more Galaxy, it would be a little bit higher up on my list. But yeah, it made the top 10 list, so I'm happy.
Yeah, I'm happy about that too because it's on my list as well. But at my number 10 is Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity.
Okay.
Now, this game I haven't finished yet,
Yep.
so
Me
take
neither.
whatever I say with a grain of salt. But I'm pretty deep into it, like 15 hours in, and it's been a fun game. Like, not my
Oh, I
favorite game of
guess
the year.
I get. I'm gonna stop you real quick. After you finish your 10, we'll do our honorable mentions.
Yeah. Let's
We
do
should.
this.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Good.
Um, Yeah, not my favorite game of the year, and the frame rate kind of sucks. And it's kind of in desperate need of an upgraded Switch.
Yeah, I think
But
so.
it's really fun. It's fun just you know mindlessly hacking and slashing at
Yeah,
hundreds of enemies at a time
it's
and
it's a
unlocking new
lot of fun.
characters.
It is fun.
Yeah, yeah, it's a good time. And I was kind of debating putting it on my list, but I think it deserves a spot in the top 10. I think
Okay.
it's yeah, I think it's good enough. All
Okay.
right, let's do our honorable mentions.
All right. So yeah, we'll backtrack to honorable mentions. I threw up. I didn't play it a ton, but for what I played, I really really enjoyed it, which was Clubhouse games. Um,
Oh shoot, I love Clubhouse games.
yeah, just playing Yahtzee in that and playing all the different mini games. A lot of fun. Like just a great family game to play. Really really cool for when I played. Um, I'm throwing up Mario Kart Live Home Circuit as an honorable mention. Um, fun game. Is it gimmicky? Maybe a little bit.
Mhm.
I think it's definitely more towards like kids, like Kellen's age or something like that. Um,
Okay.
and maybe if I just had a bigger place that was hardwood downstairs other than carpet, because it works surprisingly well in carpet. It's a little shaky, um, but yeah, and it really doesn't. I thought like the dog hair would destroy it, but it's really held up like really nicely. So I'm very happy about that. There's just not a lot of depth to it.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's an investment. It's $100. You have to have a separate Switch, and then if you want 2 players, you have to have another $100 machine or cart, and then a second Switch. So it's a huge investment for like a family if you have more than one kid. Um, but at the end of the day, it's still fun. It's still kind of got like that Guitar Hero Beat Saber vibe for the first time where you play it, where it's just so cool to see something like this in action.
Mhm.
Um, so that's why I wanted to give it an honorable mention. And
Okay.
then my third game is Hyrule Warriors. It's an honorable
Okay.
mention.
Nice.
It didn't make. I was debating putting it was on my list at first, and granted, I haven't finished it. I've played far less than you have, I think.
Mhm.
Um, so but that my opinion may change at some point, but for now, from what I've played, really good game. Like you said, the frame rate is pretty atrocious at times.
Yeah, it's
But it
pretty
looks it
embarrassingly
looks
bad.
pretty good. It's quite beautiful for what it is. I really enjoy well, maybe not super beautiful. I don't know. It looks pretty good. It's definitely doesn't look as good as like Breath of the Wild, but
No, no.
it looks better than I thought it was gonna look. I really liked like the overall design of like the map and how they got just like little mini stuff that you can kind of go into with as far as like, oh, you got all these Lizalfos fangs or whatever, give them to this farmer, and all of a sudden he's back up and running, and you can, all of a sudden start trading with him, and just little stuff like that where you don't necessarily have to go into a mission. If you
Right.
want to kill 10 minutes, you can kill 10 minutes just doing that kind of stuff.
Just
Um,
instant gratification
exactly.
stuff.
And then like apart from the actual story missions, like there's a bunch of like little side missions, like doing stuff with just Link with his spear, or doing the training for Daruk or whoever person you have.
Mhm.
And theirs are like super short; they're less than 5 minutes. So it's like it's a great game to like kind of end your night with. Like you just play a couple missions and then you're done, and then whatever. So it's very bite sized, and that's kind of that's kind of like why I go to the Switch a lot, just because a lot of stuff I play is very bite sized. That you can
Right.
just kind of get, your fill of stuff, and then put it down. So great game so far, but not quite top 10 material. I
Not
think
quite
for me,
top
for me,
10.
for me.
All right, let me do my mentions. So I added Clubhouse games because I forgot about the game, but it's so good.
It is
And
good.
Yahtzee, man. Yahtzee is unbeatable. That game is just amazing.
Yeah, and then even like connecting the two switches together was really cool. Doing like the racetrack and stuff. Like it's super gimmicky. No, not
Oh yeah.
gimmicky, but like it's super just whatever throwaway, I guess. But it's fun to see it in action for like a couple times.
Yeah. It's a great I mean, the game itself it is just a great party game in general.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
You could definitely have a rooftop party with that.
Oh, you can totally be Karen. Have a rooftop party with that one. Next on my list is Hades. I still
Nice.
haven't beaten this one, and I've gotten like 3 bosses in. I think there are a couple more than that, but I mean, this is a roguelike, so it's one of the roguelikes I've been playing this
I'm
year.
surprised this one didn't make your top 10.
Yeah, I kind of fell off of it when I think some other games are. I think when the Series X came out, I fell off of it a little bit, but
Yeah.
I really do like this game, and if I had played it more, it would probably be somewhere in the top 10. But
Okay.
unfortunately, I didn't. But
Gotcha.
yeah, next game is a short hike. This
Okay. Yeah.
is
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is a very short game, hour and a half max, but it's just like an open world exploration game where you're just collecting these golden feathers so you can jump higher, so you can climb this mountain. And it's 3D, kind of over the top 3D,
hmm
and it's got like a kind of a touching story where you're trying to get to the top of the mountain to have self service to call your mom.
It's really
Because
really a neat art style too.
yeah, kind of like a 3DS type art
Yeah.
style.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely a cool game. Very short, but great. I got 2 more.
Okay.
Sayonara Wild Hearts.
Okay.
Sayonara Wild Hearts. That's just a really, really cool rhythm game. I don't really know how to describe it. I would recommend anyone play it. It's on sale right now on the eShop, so go check it out. But it's just a rhythm game, and you're following a girl who has a broken heart, and she's recovering via rhythmic action. And then last on my list is Carry On. And now I know.
Oh my gosh.
This one
Okay.
I did have this one in my top 10 initially, but I reworked it, and there are some other games I wanted up there just a little bit more. But Carry On, Carry On's amazing. Maybe I should have it in my top. Maybe it should have been number 10 instead of Hyrule Warriors. I regret that.
Honorable mention.
Yeah.
Okay. You ready to jump back into the top list?
Yeah. What's your 9?
Number 9 is Paper Mario: The Origami King.
Hey, mine too.
Nice. So we'll talk about it together then. So really, I mean, it's a Paper Mario game, so it's super charming. Like it's definitely got funny moments with the paper jokes and stuff like that. It's super pretty looking. It looks really really good.
Very pretty.
The biggest gripe I have with it, and I know I would, was that battle system. It just got so tedious towards the end of that game. Like I was just ready for that game to end by the end of it because I was just tired
it went on
of
a
fighting.
little long, I think.
Yeah, and a lot of Paper Mario games and like Mario and Luigi stuff, like those RPGs, they'd go on for like maybe 3 or 4 hours too long than they should. And this felt kind of the same way. And I didn't collect every toad, so I wasn't exhausted at the end of the game because of that. But yeah, just that battle system I just did not really like at towards the end of the game, and I didn't really love it to begin with. But I tolerated it because I really enjoyed like just the writing and the story for what it was.
Yeah, the writing kind of saved the game for me. It was
definitely
really, really funny. Like
and then like the whole reasoning behind the whole plot in the first place was something so silly. So it just kind of it was funny. I don't want to spoil it because it's I mean it's not like groundbreaking or anything, but it's fun. It's definitely fun. And yeah, I mean
the boss fights in that game were pretty awesome too.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, it took me a little bit to get used to the boss fights. Especially that first one. I think what was it? Was it the colored pencils?
Yeah, the colored pencils.
That one took me a couple tries to beat, but once I beat them, I kind of got the rhythm for the game.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, great game. I really enjoyed it. It was definitely a nice surprise this year because I don't think really anybody expected this game when they announced it. So
yeah, it was a cool surprise, and it came out like a couple of weeks after it was announced.
Yeah, which is awesome. Any last words for Paper Mario?
I will say that finding and collecting the toads was pretty fun for what it was worth. Like I didn't do all of them, but
no, that was cool. And just eventually, like towards the end of the game, if you use like the coins or whatever to get health back or you give a hint or something, like it's just funny watching all the toads dance and throw coins at you or whatever.
It's
So
cool seeing like kind of like reaping the rewards in a sense.
yeah,
You're seeing all the toads on screen that you collected or that you
yeah,
found.
exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
There were some pretty unique boss fights in that game too.
hmm
Um,
Yeah.
but
Unique boss fights. I really liked. I think there were like what 5 different kind of areas that you were in.
yeah,
Really liked a few of
something
them.
like that. Yeah,
Yeah. So yeah,
yeah.
definitely a good game.
The sand one I didn't love.
I didn't either. That one kind of went on a little too long. A little
Yeah,
too
because you had
much driving
backtracking and
around.
stuff. Yeah. Um, Final thoughts.
Great game.
Great game. um, Number 8 is Animal Crossing: New Horizon.
Do we have the same list?
This is like kind of the first Animal Crossing I really got into. Way much more than I did New Leaf. I loved like the quote unquote campaign that it had, I guess. And then once I beat that, I just kind of stopped. I don't know why. I
I
know
did too.
that's when it opens up, and I know that's like when you're really starting to play Animal Crossing. I mean, I want to go back and just see everything that I've missed. Um, but it was really fun until it wasn't fun, and then I just
And then it was a chore.
and then it was a chore. I just got tired of it. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah,
Yeah. I kind of like I beat the game and then I unlocked like the ability to add paths and change your terrain and everything.
yep.
So I spent like probably an additional 20 or so hours after that.
So you played a lot more than I did then.
Yeah, yeah. Um, and then I got to a point where I was like really happy with my village.
Yeah,
And then I just kind of stopped
it's
one
time to
day.
walk
It's like
away and
it's one of those
let it
things like
thrive.
yeah, like it wasn't one of those things where I picked it up every now and then. I just never picked it up after I stopped. And that was it.
Yeah, I don't know. And maybe this is in the game now. I have no idea. I wish there was like a way to make bells without having to sell stuff all the time. Like
Mhm.
I know there's the turnip thing, but I wish you could like create like a market or something or a store or something that you could sell your stuff that you grow or whatever.
Like a
Some
Farmville type thing.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
I think I would be if they mixed Animal Crossing with like um Harvest Moon or something like that, where you could sell your stuff or like a Stardew Valley.
hmm
Um, I think I would like it a lot more, but I need to go back and check it out. But for what I played, I really enjoyed it. Like it was
Yeah, yeah.
fun to wake up every day and like play for like 30 minutes before work or something, or kind of throughout the day, just kind of do stuff and get the spiders and you try to catch the spiders because
Yeah.
they were like so hard to catch. And yeah, it's a really fun game.
And such a cultural phenomenon too
Oh
when it
yeah,
came out. Like it was kind of it came at the perfect time, right when like the work from home started, right when lockdowns started
yep.
all over. So like I don't know if I would have enjoyed it as much if we weren't in this scenario this year because like I just had so much more time to play it
Yeah, exactly.
during the
Yeah,
day.
it definitely gave me kind of like the vibe of like when the Wii first came out with Wii Sports, how like everybody and their mom was playing this game, or like
Yeah.
Pokemon Go at first. Like everybody was talking about it. People that I would never expect to play Animal Crossing, streamers that I've watched, they would
Mhm.
be playing it. Like it was just everywhere, and it was really cool
Like
because
people were buying Switches that I would never expect to
yeah.
play a game.
And then that's when the Switch didn't the Switch Lite come out? No, that was November of 2019. So it was already
Yeah,
out for a
that's
little bit.
before then.
And then they released that really beautiful, like pastel colored Switch version, which was really
Mhm.
cool. I saw that in stores the other day. I was like, damn it, Nintendo.
Yeah.
um, yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Yeah, really enjoyed the time I had with it, and maybe I'll go back into it since I think they're in winter now, so it's gonna
Yeah,
look completely different.
yeah, that's what I keep thinking I'm gonna do. So we'll
Yeah.
see. All right, number 7. I know you don't have it on your list. It's Dragon Ball Z Kakarot.
No, nice.
So I mean, this game came out and like this is like the first game I played of this year. It came out in January.
Mhm.
Um, I really like Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super, all that stuff. I don't get into like the manga or anything, so I'm not like super diehard into it. But just that and fighters that I play a lot, like I really enjoy Dragon Ball. Um, and just this was probably the best story version of Dragon Ball Z I've probably ever played.
Okay.
I mean, it's again, they're all telling the same story, so it's just reliving
Yeah.
like, but you do a lot more stuff. I mean, you have fishing in the game, you have hunting where you can, and granted, you're just shooting them with your blast. It's nothing crazy, but there's getting boosts from that. There's doing stuff like Gohan's whenever Piccolo in the game or in the show leaves Gohan in the desert for 6 months by himself when he's like 5. You get to play as him and kind of like learn his story a little bit more and do stuff and grand like and the fighting is a lot like it's a lot like Xenoverse 1 and 2. I don't think you've ever played those games, but for the people that have, it's pretty much like that. It's a little bit better. Well, probably quite better than those, but those are still really good games too, I think.
Okay.
But this one's kind of buggy too. It's the open world. I mean, it's fun flying around and collecting like all the orbs and stuff, but it's as like an open world, it's kind of boring and lackluster. Um, it just doesn't feel lived in. I mean, you have like AI moving throughout the city, but they're not doing anything important.
Right.
They're just walking around or driving around in their
Maybe.
cars. And then like the enemies, like there's enemies just flying around that you can go across and you can avoid them if you want to. So it's not like you have to fight them or whatever. It's not like a Final Fantasy where you're just going to get attacked out of nowhere. You can definitely fly around them. Um, but yeah, I mean, all that stuff aside, it was so much fun going through this game. And I mean, I probably put 55 hours into this thing.
Wow.
So I still want to get the DLC and play that. Um, just because it was so fun. But yeah, all that negative stuff aside that you would expect from like a Dragon Ball Z game, it's still probably one of the best Dragon Ball Z games out there. As one like not counting Fighters, just because Fighters is a completely different game, but as far as like one of those kind of Dragon Ball Z games like Xenoverse, it's probably the best, and it's just a lot of fun. And
Yeah.
is it technically better than Animal Crossing? I don't know, but I had
You
a
had
lot more
more
fun
fun.
with it. So I just think I had a more invested more time into it. I loved every aspect of playing that thing, just watching all the different characters that you love from the show come into it and playing as them, and then having like your squad, and then like you had like almost like a game board thing style, like in the menu where every time you would unlock like fight a new character, you would unlock their their coin or whatever, and then you could place that coin into the game board. I can't remember what it's called. It's not a game board, but if you lined them up to next to certain people, you would get like a bonus. So like if you were to line like Krillin and Goku up, you would get like the best friend bonus or whatever it's called, or like
Interesting. Okay.
Gohan and Goku, you would have like the father son bonus, or like Piccolo and Gohan because they have that relationship, or I don't know, like if you have just there's so many different combinations of characters that you can kind of place against each other and you get like a different boost for it. But so there's a lot of stuff in the game and it's a lot of fun. And then they added a card battler to it as well. Like
Oh
they
yeah.
created their and I played a little bit of it, but not enough to really talk about it. Um but yeah, I mean it was a game, man. It was a fun game. I loved it. I would definitely recommend if you're like any sort of a Dragon Ball Z fan, I would definitely recommend it. Especially now, it's probably $20 at this point, 30
Yeah. It's
bucks.
probably pretty cheap now.
You can play it if you want to because I've got it.
Oh,
So
that's right. Yeah.
so
It's a big
it's
game
fun.
share now.
Yeah, it's fun. I really enjoyed it.
Okay. Nice. All right. My number 7 is Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2.
Nice.
Yeah.
You really like this game.
Yeah. This is one of those games where I played through both of them in a weekend and did like all the challenges for every level. And then I didn't play it really anymore after that. But the time I had spent with it was just so much fun. Like, you know me, I love skateboarding games
Yeah.
in general. And shoot, I forgot to add. I just remembered Skater XL. That's
Oh
not on my
man.
list. But that's
Honorable
okay.
mention. Honorable mention. Honorable mention.
Honorable mention. Yeah, it's not complete yet, so whatever. But yeah, Tony Hawk, like that just and I never really played the original
No, we didn't
1
really
and
get
2
into it until
3.
3, and then we played some Underground 1 and 2. Did you play 1 and 2 Underground? You
Oh
played that,
yeah.
didn't you?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Oh yeah.
okay. And then
Yeah.
like
There were
American
one
Wasteland came out and stuff like that.
American Wasteland, Proving Grounds.
Oh yeah,
That was a good
Downhill
one.
Jam. Remember that one?
Downhill Jam, man.
You love that game.
Yeah, yeah. It was
It
one
was
of the
good
first
though.
games I got with the Wii.
Yeah,
That was cool. But yeah, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2, very, very good remake. Like I want them so bad to either add Pro Skater 3 to that collection or release a separate remaster with 3 and 4. Because I mean, 3 is one of my favorite.
yeah. 3 was
Yeah,
really good.
3 was really good. I don't remember much about 4, but I would just love to see both of those
Yeah,
kind of remastered in the same way
yeah.
because they got the feeling down perfectly.
I played a couple of levels of Tony Hawk, and I need to go back and play it. But from what I played, I really enjoyed it. And it was funny because I was just listening. I don't know if you were listening to this podcast. It's called the Video Game Apocalypse. It's from the Laser Time Network, but um, they were actually the people from Games Radar back in the day that did like the bit with like Halo Reach will win Game of the Year.
Oh,
It's those same guys, but they left that company and formed their
Yeah.
own. But he was telling me, or not telling me, but he was saying that technically in my ears, yeah, that in the original game you have like the mall level. I think it's either 1 or 2. I can't remember. But it's like a kind of a vibrant mall. Like there's people in there. There's
Yeah.
stores. But in like the remaster, it kind of reflects like today's current society, because obviously before COVID, malls were kind of dying anyways, and 2020 has just kind of not quite been the nail on the coffin for malls, but it definitely didn't help. So it was just kind of funny they reflected that into the new era. So
Yeah, you can tell they put a lot of heart into
yeah,
the game, and they
for
just
sure.
they nailed the feeling. Like I didn't play 5, but I heard whoever worked on 5, I think it was
It's
Robomoto,
garbage.
they did not get the feeling of the game right, and
Yeah,
that's
which is
the
a
most
shame.
important part. Yeah. So I mean they nailed it. I can't remember who did the remaster. I don't.
Hopefully this
I don't know who
paves the
did
way
it.
for a proper new Tony Hawk, or like Tony Hawk
Reboot or something.
reboot or something called Tony Hawk, whatever it is. That would be really cool.
Yeah. I can't wait for whenever that happens. When the skateboarding resurgence
Yeah, exactly.
finally makes its way in.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, what's your number 6?
Number 6 is Resident Evil 3.
Nice.
So I almost forgot that this game came out this year. Man, I know a lot of people did not like this game, just because it's so short, and it is. It's really, really short. I think my first playthrough, I beat it like under 6 hours, so it's super short. But I played it probably 6 or 7 times, like just between getting all the guns. I think I completely got all the achievements in this game. I'm pretty sure I did. Like going back and beating it like on Inferno mode or whatever it is, like, and unlocking like the infinite rocket launcher and stuff. Like it's just so much fun. Like it's a classic Resident Evil, like, kind of what you expect.
Oh yeah.
It kind of sucks that I played a little bit of the original Resident Evil 3 on the GameCube, but again, I was just young and couldn't beat stuff like that.
Hard.
Apparently they took out like a whole section of the game, the clock tower section, which you see like on the map for the tram or whatever. So it kind of sucks that they did that. Like I don't really understand why. And it's definitely way more actiony than like 2 was, for sure. It's not nearly like as scary or anything like that.
Yeah.
But that being said, I mean, it was still so much fun to go through that game and play. The Nemesis stuff kind of got, I don't know. It's an unstoppable beast, right? That you fight 4 times, 5 times throughout the game. So it's like kind of gets tedious towards the end. But I thought the ending boss was pretty cool for what it was.
It's pretty badass ending boss.
Yeah, especially like the gun you use at the very end too.
It was like
pretty awesome.
Stupid easy, but
yeah, not on like Inferno. Like it was, because you can get killed with like 1 hit with his his claw or whatever, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, I mean, it's Resident Evil. Like 2 and 3 were excellent, I think, remasters. 3 being a little bit worse. And maybe because we had just gotten 2 like a year before, so maybe that played into a little bit of kind of why people didn't like it as much. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so
I remember
maybe that
how
had something
great
to do
two
with it.
was.
But yeah, two was amazing. 3 was really great, I would say.
Yeah, I would
Really,
agree with
really,
that.
really enjoyed it.
Yeah, nice. So that was number 6, right?
Yeah.
Okay, my number 6 was Crosscode for the
Okay.
Nintendo Switch.
Okay. Okay.
I know you didn't play this one, but
No, I didn't.
this scratched the same itch, or scratched that itch of the Dragon Ball Z Game Boy Advance games,
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
like
Yeah.
the Legacy of Goku 1 and 2, and then Boost Fury. It kind of scratched that same itch, except it's like a full scale RPG where you're leveling
Ooh,
up
I'm going
every
inside.
part of your character and getting new equipment, and
Yeah.
I still need, like, I'm at like the end level of the game and I need to go in and finish it. But yeah, it's just an incredible game. Like, so much thought went into it, and the story is, it's like it's a pretty good story for what it is. Um,
Yeah.
I don't want to say too much about it, but the story is fantastic and it kind of keeps you going throughout the game, and like the platforming, like for a kind of a top down game like this, like the platforming is really good, and
Yeah.
it kind of drives a lot of the game outside of the combat, which is combat's great too. It's like kind of every part of the game is great. The only gripe I had with it when it first came out was it was a little slow,
Hmm.
um, a little slow on the Switch, and the FPS, the frames per second would drop a little bit depending on whatever areas you're in, and then
Yeah.
getting into the menus and moving around was a little slow, but they patched all that out,
Okay.
so it
I was
runs
gonna
runs
ask because
perfectly
they've got
now.
it optimized for the Series X because it's on Game Pass. So I've been meaning to check it out, but I've just been
Yeah,
so
yeah.
wrapped up in Valhalla right now. God.
Yeah, I
Um.
need to go check it out on the Series X. See
Yeah.
how good it looks. That's it for number 6.
Cool. Number
Uh,
5 for me is Doom Eternal. What'd you say?
Oh, Doom Eternal.
Yeah, Doom Eternal, man. Was not hyped for this game at all. Like I loved 2016 Doom. Like I thought it was
Mhm.
super fantastic. It was a great game, and this one kind of came and went for me because I mean it came out the same day as Animal Crossing, and I opted for Animal Crossing, which not mad about because Doom Eternal came to Game Pass, so it was
Yes, it did.
good to wait. And God, man, that game runs so good. I want to I might boot it up for the Series X just to see how it is for that.
Mhm.
But man, it ran great on the Xbox One, the base Xbox One. Um, and it's a Doom game. It just like all the little mini battles you have throughout that game are fantastic. It gets super hard at the end.
Mhm.
Even the last boss fight was like almost an hour long. It was so long, man. It was yeah, it was like 45 minutes to like it was really long. No, there's checkpoints,
Did you
but
die? Oh, okay,
no,
okay,
I
okay.
don't think I did. But yeah, just like warping across the map, whether it's like one through one of the jumping, either like through the portal or one of like the jump pads.
Mhm.
Some of the weapons you get, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but are pretty freaking badass. Um, yeah, I mean it's I think it does everything better than 2016 Doom was. I know a lot of people complained about the platforming, which I've talked about before. I didn't really find the platform to be that difficult. And even if you died for some reason, like you respawn instantly. So there's like no loading when it comes to dying. Um,
Oh,
so like I don't really understand why people had such a big problem with the platforming. If the loading was bad, then yes, for sure. Um, but there you it's almost like Super Meat Boy kind of loading that you would just instantly come back. It was crazy.
yeah.
And then finding all um the secrets and stuff throughout the levels was really fun to do. And yeah, great game, great game.
This is one of those games that I can't wait to play on the Series X. I played
Yes.
like probably 2 or 3 hours on the base one, but we were just so close to the Series X that I wanted
Yeah.
to wait a little bit.
Yeah, it's good. You definitely, I would definitely recommend playing on the Series X. I'm
Yeah.
sure it'll run even better.
Can't wait. My number 5 is Resident Evil 3. So you kind of covered what I loved about the game, but kind of what I loved most is that it just kicked off this like Resident Evil binge that I did, where I played
Yeah,
through 3 and then Claire's story into played through 7 again. I even played through Resident Evil 6. Like,
yeah.
damn, was it that
Yeah.
good?
I forgot that you like went hard into Resident Evil.
Yeah, and then played a little bit of Resident Evil 1 on the Switch, and
Still need to go
never
back and
finished
play
that
that.
one. But yeah, Resident Evil 3, like I know it's not as good as 2, but just the fact that like I almost like the fact that it's so short because you can just play it
Yeah,
in an afternoon. Like you, like by the end of the like a third or fourth times that we were both playing through it, we were beating it in under 2 hours.
yeah,
And like that's just so cool that you can play through like a game like that in under 2 hours
yeah.
after you
It's
learn everything
insane,
about it.
and not even like cheating or anything. Like you just play the game as you
Yeah,
unlock
yeah,
stuff.
yeah. Just because you learn the shortcuts and secrets and optimal routes and everything. And man, yeah,
Yeah,
Resident Evil. Can't wait
yeah,
for
and the
Resident
fact
Evil
that
8.
like it starts off with a bang. Like you just
Yep.
immediately get attacked by Nemesis. Like it's so cool. So yeah,
Yeah,
great game,
fantastic.
great game. My number 4 is Carry On.
Wow. Oh, it's just
Yeah, dude. I
great.
really like this game so much. It just kind of came out of nowhere. Like I saw like very little kind of not really ads, but I mean I just saw like a quick video of it and was like, okay, this is cool. I think I probably listened to a couple podcasts about it.
Mm,
Um, yeah, and then like instantly when I picked it up and just played as a monster, it was I was instantly hooked because you just don't get a game like that very often where
yeah.
you play as the bad guy or not really. I don't know. It's just it was really cool and the story is really cool. Like all the little flashback missions were interesting and the ending I thought was pretty awesome. Definitely don't want to
Yeah,
spoil it because
dude.
and
The ending was so cool.
yeah, and it's a really short game. It's like 5 hours, maybe 4 hours.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed like getting bigger and bigger as the monster. Like you were almost like half a screen size at some points. Like and just going and through and just ripping and tearing apart like all the little soldiers
Rip and
was
tear.
awesome, huh?
Rip and tear.
Rip and tear. Um, so yeah, just
It
love
was
it
really
so
good.
much.
Probably the biggest gripe was the fact that you didn't have a map. But I
Yes,
guess that doesn't make
I got
sense.
lost quite a few times towards like kind of the end where you have to kind of backtrack at some point
Yeah.
as you unlock stuff. So yes, that is probably the really the only gripe I have with the game
Mhm.
was the no map kind of thing, which is kind of crazy in that style game, but I mean whatever.
I guess like as a monster, you wouldn't have a map.
Yeah, I mean it makes sense as like a story thing, but yeah,
It would be
having a map
nice.
would have been nice, but
I thought there were some weird difficulty spikes too with some of the encounters you had,
yeah,
but nothing was ever too difficult. Like and you
yeah, there was
respond
a
super quick.
yeah, there was a couple of spots where, especially when you're fighting the mechs at some point,
Yeah.
um, and like the flying drones or whatever can kind of mess you up if you don't
Mhm.
take care of them quick enough. So yeah, there was a couple of difficulty spikes, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your number 4? I'm excited now.
Number 4 is Mario 3D All Stars.
Dang. Okay,
Dude,
you had
I
it
mean,
pretty high up.
you know how much I loved playing through all 3 of these. I mean,
Yeah.
even Sunshine, which doesn't hold up. Um, it was fun beating that one.
Can't
And
hold up
then
if you never played it.
I watched you play it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
you played like I mean, you beat these games, so
yeah, beat him 100% in 64 and Galaxy. And dude, Galaxy just it's a phenomenal game. Like
yeah. I think this
so good.
probably would have been higher on my list if I had played through Galaxy.
Yeah, I think so. And for a collection, it's okay. They didn't really do much aside from upres them a little bit, but they didn't
Yeah.
they didn't remake 64, and I think they should have. So as a collection, it's
Yeah.
okay, but
Yeah, I wish they really would have at least remade 64
mhm,
just because, I mean, but I mean, for what it is, like I feel like it holds up pretty well. There's a couple
Yeah,
of like camera stuff that's weird, which is understandable. It's a freaking N64 game, but
right.
um, yeah, I think it would have remade 64. That would have been pretty awesome, but
Maybe
eh,
they'll do that in a standalone release at some point for
maybe, maybe,
$60.
maybe
Yeah, but yeah, I mean,
$60.
all three of these games, even just on their own, are really great. I know I give Sunshine crap, but it's a fun game.
Still weird that Galaxy 2 isn't in there.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't think there's like any
I don't
sense
get
of
it.
why that shouldn't have been included.
I don't know if they'll eventually add it at some point, but
I don't think
yeah,
so.
that's just so weird. Like that's a game that a lot of people missed too.
Yeah. I definitely did. I played a little bit of Galaxy, but yeah, I didn't even play 2 at all. And
Yeah,
like you said, I think a
and
lot of people just didn't play it.
I heard too, just like streamlined and did things a lot better than one.
Yeah,
So I'm you know, if that ever comes to the Switch, I'll get it. But yeah, kind of weird that it was not included in that collection.
yeah, that's very odd.
Yeah. All right, we're getting down to it now. What's your number 3?
Number 3, The Last of Us Part 2.
What? Okay,
Yeah,
I know where this is going. Okay.
The Last of Us Part 2. It's the game that I never thought needed a sequel, but for what they did with it, I thought was really smart. Just spoilers for The Last of Us 2. The fact that they make you kind of really care about a character that killed Joel, kind of says something about just the writing and just the way they crafted this campaign. I mean, because at the end of the day, like I didn't hate either one of these characters between Ellie and uh, help me
Joel,
out here,
Ellie,
no,
and Abby.
Abby. Like I like them both, and they obviously they both had their reasons for doing the things they did. Aside from the story wise, I mean, the gameplay was so much fun. It's one of the only games I've ever really hate killing people because it's like so just visceral, and
Yeah.
the way they did this game where you shoot somebody and they're like, "Oh, Sarah," they actually give you names of people that are kind of meaningless to the overall plot, but you still care and like feel like about it. So, yeah, it's yeah, I think it's definitely better. I think it's better than The Last of Us, the original. Um, Gameplay wise, story wise, it's definitely a lot more going on, I would say.
You said story wise, there's a lot more going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
More
loved it. I
moving
mean, it
parts.
was yeah. I mean, I loved it. I think it's a great follow up to one of the greatest games of last generation. Well, I guess the PS3 era or whatever. Um, but yeah, I loved it. It's good.
Yeah. I'm just trying to figure out what I know what your top 2 are. I'm just trying to figure out what order. Uh, my number 3 is Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Nice.
I mean, we both have talked about how much we love this game, and
Yes, God,
it might
did
even
not
be
expect
higher
it.
up. It might be higher up on my list if I had finished it by the time of this podcast. But I'm still making my way there.
Yeah,
Um, I mean, like I'm still committed to playing through it. And dude, I love this game. Love the combat, the
yeah,
stories. I mean, even the base building is pretty fun. Like I'm never a big base building guy in
yeah. Because I
games,
mean, it's
but
just yeah. Because you get like it unlocks quests that you can do. Um, yeah, it's cool. Like just kind of seeing your little community build.
yeah, it's just easy to do. And like the rating, like I know you weren't too hot on the rating at first, but just having this giant army with you,
Yeah.
and you're just like, I accidentally killed everybody in an entire castle before the story told me to.
Oh,
Um,
I've done that. I think I know. I think I did the same exact thing you did.
it was down south. I can't remember where it was.
Yeah, because I
Um,
did the same exact thing, and they were like, "I think there's a secret cave or secret area underneath the monastery," and I'm like, "Yeah, there is. I've killed everybody."
and you couldn't get to it at the time.
Yeah, you couldn't get to it. I was like, "What is going on?"
I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
It tells me to raid the place I just killed everybody at, and I'm like, what's gonna happen? And
Yeah.
then I went in, and it told me to like to destroy these like ballistic machines.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I went in, and everyone was dead. So I just destroyed them, and then when I like started the raid, everyone was there again. So I just
Oh,
had to
okay.
go through and kill everyone again.
Yeah, I mean it's buggy as hell. There's a lot of glitches. There's screen tearing that's really bad that I've started to notice.
Mhm.
But all that aside, I kind of freaking love it, man. It's like probably my favorite Assassin's Creed I've ever played. Um, granted, and it's so different. It's so different than like 2 and like the Ezio trilogy, and then like even 4 is more similar to this, I think. Because like I said before, if you were to call this Valhalla without Assassin's Creed attached to it, you don't need it.
You
It's
don't see
weird,
the
and
difference.
but I really like the whole what is it? The hidden ones are
Mechanic?
you, um, or Hytham and
Oh, yeah.
but
I can't remember what they're
the
called.
like killing like the order or whatever, like going and finding the zealots around the map. They're like these super hard boss fights essentially.
Mhm.
And then getting the clues to find like kind of the higher, the hierarchy of this order is really awesome. Um,
Yeah, it's a really
th-
intricate game.
and I think that's the first time something like that's been in this series. I think I like I said, I haven't played Origins or Odyssey, so I'm not really sure.
I don't think
Um,
they had anything like that.
yeah, and just all the swords and stuff and axes and all the weapons you can find are super cool. Like upgrading your or changing like your bird is cool. I can't remember the name of it, but you
I
can like
haven't done that yet. I haven't
yeah, you
changed
could
the bird.
there's so much stuff that you can customize, and like you can upgrade your horse to where it can swim in the water and stuff like that. It's
Didn't know that either. I mean,
yeah, oh yeah, that
like
comes in
there's just so
handy.
much to it.
Yeah, there's so much stuff, and then like the whole I don't know. There's just so much in this game, and feel like I'm not even anywhere close to being done with it. Like I haven't finished it yet, still.
Mhm.
But I love it, man. It's a really pretty game too. Definitely some nice like ray tracing and like god beams or whatever you want to call them is going on.
Yeah.
Um, it runs pretty well for the most part, other than like the screen tearing and stuff. Like
Yeah, the
like
frame
the
rate stays
frame
pretty
rate
stable.
works pretty good. It's funny. I actually switched it over because I've had it in performance mode. I switched it over to quality mode and it looked worse. So I switched it
Yeah,
back.
I don't like quality. I just play performance. I switched it over like same as you, and I was like, I don't like this as much
It
for
looked it
some
looked
reason.
like significantly worse than performance,
Really?
and I thought it was really weird. There is one weird glitch in the game. Every time I go back into the game or I die, um, Eivor is like drunk. She's like
Dude, same thing
she's
happened
like
to me.
always waddling around like she's like it's and you talk to somebody and it goes away, but it's a weird glitch, and I'm
Well,
surprised it's not
it's
been fixed.
it was frustrating because I was fighting a Zealot and it was dying, and every time I came back, I was drunk.
Yeah, which I mean, you drink a lot in this game. Like
Yeah,
it's I would
it's
need
just
I need an
weird.
ale or whatever.
Yeah, weird glitch.
Even like the stupid like drinking games are fun. Like I'm always excited to do one because they're
Yeah,
just fun to do.
yeah,
Yeah,
great game.
this was your number 3.
My number 3.
So this is my number 2, Assassin's Creed.
Okay, all right. Well, I know your number 1 is, but
So yeah, I mean we literally just talked about it. So great game.
all right.
I loved every kind of part of it so far.
Yeah,
There's just so much, even like the little I've thought about it before, but like the random little encounters you have with people, or like some are funny, some are really cool. Like there's just a ton of like different stuff and then you don't really ever see twice. Like I found this one where these 2 brothers have like a grain business, and ever since they built their silo to harvest the grain, one of the brothers harvests the grain and the other one sells it. So he's got like salesman experience, whatever. And
yeah.
they've been fighting ever since. One brother thinks he should have more because he puts more labor into it, and the other one says, "Well, if it wasn't for me, we wouldn't even be selling it." And then you come into play and you just you take your torch and just blow up the silo, like you throw it at it, and catches on fire and explodes, and then like everyone comes together because like both their houses catch on fire, and like the two families come together and they're like, you know what, we didn't need this silo. We're family and it's breaking us apart. And then they're like cheering for it to be burnt to the ground, and like they're losing everything, but they're just cheering and they're so happy because their family is like whole again.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, stuff like that is just so cool because it means nothing to like the world because it's just ticking
Just a
in a
moment.
spot on like the world events, but they're so different that it's just really fun just to come across them.
Yeah, just those cool little moments that you might not even see in the game.
Yeah.
You know, you might just miss it. But
What's
yeah,
your number two?
my number two is Ori.
Okay. There's going.
Yeah. So you know what my number one is, but
Last of Us.
Yeah. So Ori, I mean, like you, I played the first one this year as well.
Yeah.
And that one was completely amazing, and then this one just took that and sped it up to 100.
Yeah.
The combat was so much better.
Yeah, with like the sword that Ori
really have
gets.
combat.
Yeah,
the sword, like all the weapons, the bow and arrow, and just your arsenal is amazing, and the traversal just it's so seamless, and like I'm pretty sure like you get mostly everything you had in the Blind Forest within like the first
it's pretty
couple
quick.
hours of the game, and then you just get even cooler stuff.
Yeah, which is great for someone like us that just played Blind Forest.
Mhm.
So it's weird going into the next game with nothing essentially. So the fact that they sped that process up a little bit faster in this game to get to the new stuff was really smart on their part.
Yeah, they don't take your time for granted.
No,
in this game,
and it's a long game. It's like 30 hours too, or 20, 25. So it's really long.
20 to 30 hours, I think. But even the story was really touching.
Yeah.
Like, man, I mean, the story in both of those games is pretty good, but this one kind of took it up a little bit. But yeah, I mean, this was such a great experience. I mean, aside from the frame rate issues when it first came out and the crashing, like, that's the only criticism I have, and that's completely ironed out now. And now the game's running at 120 frames per second on the Series X, so it's like
ridiculous,
night and day.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously Ori is my game of the year. I loved it so much. It was just such an incredible experience through and through. From the moment like that wolf attacks you, just all like the boss fight chase scenes were so much fun to do. And just traversing that world, and the hub world was really cool, and just everything about it. Like there wasn't an area I didn't like. Like aside from like isn't there like a dark area in that game? But you get a light eventually, so it's fine. I mean, like that world, I love it. I'll definitely play any Ori game that ever comes out. So yeah, game of the year, man, for me. Will the Wisps, good stuff.
Nice. And then mine, as you know, is Last of Us 2, like everybody else. But I mean, it's one of those rare games where you play through this, this 24-hour game. You play through it in a week or less, because every day you're just so excited to see where the story goes, or what's going to happen next, or what cool weapon or ability you're going to get. And there's so many ways you can take on every scenario. You don't have to kill anybody in the game if you don't want to. You can kind of sneak your way through, or you can just go in guns blazing, and like you said, like every death is critical, and you feel it, whether it's through someone shouting the name or just of them like screeching out viscerally. And then like just all the story beats, I think it kind of never let up. It just, switching between Ellie and Abby.
Yeah.
Like both were equally as fun, and I was never like, oh, I wish I was playing as Ellie right now, or oh, I wish I was playing as Abby. It's like both had their own separate
Yeah.
amazing experience, and I can only think of one time where like I wished I was back playing with Ellie, but that was just because there was a cliffhanger
Yeah.
that I wanted to
Yeah.
see the resolution for.
Which is crazy. And I think that's why a lot of people hated that game, or not hated, but criticize it, because like the biggest cliffhanger of the game, and then you play for Abby for 10 hours or something crazy.
Yeah,
So
it's a long time.
it's a bold choice, and I thought it was for the better. I thought it was a fantastic story. If they do a Last of Us Part 3, there better not be any sort of revenge, because I just don't want to. I don't want to hear it anymore. Like it's it's said and done. But both characters got their redemption. They avenged their people that you can say. But yeah, I mean, what are so some of the highlights for me? I would say definitely like the high rise scene where
Yes.
you're climbing and you feel like that sense of vertigo for Abby. Was really cool, and just that whole area of like going through the skyscraper, and like part of it's kind of messed up because of the bombings, and then and there's like a story behind that too, of like the soldiers coming through to bomb it, and then there's you have to find the gas mask and stuff, and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, what's
that was a big
I mean, like
highlight.
obviously, like I mean, this was in the kind of the early trailers, but like meeting the scars for the first time, or where you meet what's the brother, what's the twins you meet, are they twins? I can't remember.
The brother and sister.
Yeah,
No, she's older.
she's older. Okay.
I can't remember their names, but that, I mean, every moment with them was really cool.
Yeah. It kind of sucked. I mean, again, spoilers, but like, again, I can't remember the girl's name, but like you fight so hard to get her back to the doctor or whatever, to heal her arm, and then she ends up getting shot at the end. So it's like, dang, man, what was the point? But that makes sense, just because I think Abby definitely related more to the other character anyways, but just because they had those moments together.
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean, it's such a good game.
And I'm gonna kind of get into spoilers for a second. So if you haven't played the game, it's not in game spoilers, but it's close to the end. One of the highlights was seeing Ellie when she was kind of settled down, and you just know that something's gonna happen, and she's gonna go, and then what's his face comes, Joel's brother.
Oh gosh,
I can't remember. I'm so bad at names for video games, but oh shoot,
did it start with a J? Isn't it? Not Jack. I can't remember his name
now. But his brother comes, and I'm just like looking
and
at
you and you don't know if he's dead or not, right? At that point, right?
Yeah, you don't know if he had died
because he got shot in the head,
face.
or shot in the face. Yeah, and I think it messed up. It hit something where he was limping and stuff, so he couldn't go after Abby. So I think
he lost an eye too.
Maybe.
I
don't know if he lost. I don't think he lost an eye.
Maybe not.
But he definitely got severely damaged and hurt and crippled because of it. And yeah, he was just kind of saying, you need to go after Abby because it's your responsibility to kill her or whatever.
I was just like, please just let the game end here.
Yeah, because like that whole, I don't know. I didn't love the moment of fighting Ellie. It was cool to see how like scrappy she is and like moving, but that whole boss fight was kind of, I don't know. It was just, it was kind of cheap and a little cheesy for me. But other than that, yeah, just that whole end sequence, the whole like latter part of the game, I really enjoyed. A lot of people didn't like going to Santa Barbara, whatever it was. Was it Santa Barbara?
I think so. That was it. Wasn't that long,
but it wasn't long. It was like a couple hours, maybe. Um, a lot of people didn't think it was needed, but I thought it was a cool way to kind of, because I mean, if Abby wasn't damaged or messed up, maybe I don't know. Ellie still fought her at the end, but which was also a brutal kind of fight too. Just
Yeah.
them slicing each other up and stuff. But
Yeah, she kind of had to have, I guess, gone through that for you to feel for her as a character. I mean, I guess for you to feel for her as a character, like that she was kind of captured for, I think, a few
yeah,
months.
it was like 2 months, I think.
Yeah.
So
that was a cool section of the end of the game. Like regardless, just fighting through all those people and unleashing those zombies on everyone.
yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
That was definitely cool. And then just like that whole like you free her, and then she's just carrying. I feel bad for not remembering the person's name, but carrying down to the boats or whatever, and like the whole time like Ellie's just walking so slow, and you're like, is she gonna do it? Is she gonna let her go? And then she's like, I can't let you. She's like, I know you can't. I can't let you go.
I was like, come on, man.
And Abby's like, she's like, I'm not doing this. And then she puts the knife to the throat, and then it's like, okay, this is going down. And I was like, man, I don't want any of them to die.
Yeah.
I would like to see like the next one be with Abby, to be honest, and see their trip to the Fireflies or something.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I think Ellie's story is done. I mean, all she can do is go back and make amends and find Dana. But
yeah,
but that's about it for her. I can't see them getting more out of that story. But yeah, that's my number one.
yeah, good games. Okay, so
let's recap our top 5 and then try to narrow it down.
So mine was at number 5, Doom Eternal. Number 4, Carry On. Number 3, Last of Us Part 2. Number 2, Assassin's Creed Valhalla. And number 1, Ori and the Will of the Wisps.
And my number 5 was Resident Evil 3, followed by 3D All Stars, Assassin's Creed, Ori Will of the Wisp, and then Last of Us 2. So we have the same top 3.
Okay.
All right. You have Carry On and
Ori, Valhalla. Last of Us. I'm just doing both our. What was your Carry On? I'm doing my top 5, and then you add the other 2.
Okay. So I had 3D All Stars and Carry On. I had Resident Evil 3.
Okay.
All right, we got 7. We got to turn into 5.
Okay. I think I'm okay with Cut and Carry On. I think, and mainly because it wasn't even on your top 10 list. So, I think it's an excellent game. One of my favorite of this year for sure. It's short, but it's short and sweet. It doesn't overstay its welcome. But like we said, it's got kind of some weird difficulty spike issues, and then the whole no map thing is kind of annoying at sometimes, especially towards the latter part of that game. But I think we can get rid of it.
Okay, and I think we can get rid of Resident Evil 3.
Yeah,
unless you think 3D All Star should go instead. I personally liked Mario 3D All Stars more than Resident Evil 3. But they, like, the thing is, they're both remakes. Right? They're both remasters.
Yeah, I think 3 can go, just because I mean we had 2 the year prior, and it was excellent, but it was short. They cut some stuff out from the original, which was kind of a bummer. So yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with this list.
Yeah, and 3D All Stars was just an exciting game to come out, because it had been so long since any of these games had come to a platform.
Yeah, it was just exciting just to see like a whole direct based on Mario, and this was long rumored, but it was good to finally see that happen. And then yeah, it was a
Yeah.
bummer that we didn't get like a proper remake for 64 at the least, but I think it was still all around like a pretty solid collection.
Yeah. And I'd even be okay with leaving this at number 5.
Yeah, I think I would definitely take Doom over this for
Okay.
sure.
So we have Mario 3D All Stars at number 5 for our collective list. This is between both of us, and then 4 is Doom Eternal.
Yep. So Valhalla is definitely gonna be number 3.
You think so?
Just
You think?
well,
Yeah, I think so.
well, because I had Ori and Valhalla as my number 2, but you had what? Last of Us, Ori, and Valhalla.
Yeah, we had a weird order.
So yeah, I'm okay with putting. I mean, we can change it, but switch Valhalla and Last of Us around, and we'll look at that.
Sure. Okay, so that would be Assassin's Creed Valhalla at number 3.
Wait, do we have 6
And
right
then-
now?
No, we don't. Sorry, I think I had Valhalla twice.
Oh, okay. I was like, God, no. Okay, so
This is our current list. 30 All Stars at 5, Doom Eternal at 4, Valhalla at 3, and then we haven't decided yet. But we
Then
have Last of Us and Ori. I mean, you have this as you have Ori as your number 1. I have
it's
Last
my
of Us
number
as
1,
my
but
one.
I mean,
Which one do you think objectively is a better game?
I mean, it's so hard to like, because I mean, they were
It's hard to
both.
compare these two.
I mean, the only reason I would say put Last of Us as number 1 was because Ori was so broken at the very beginning that, I mean, I got through it and it didn't really bother me too much, aside from like the map took too long to open up. And that was
Mhm.
kind of frustrating. I could deal with like the frame rate issues for the most part, but that map, it just took too long for me sometimes. So
Yeah, and the crashing did it.
yeah, it
That
did
didn't
crash a
help
couple
either.
times for me. And The Last of
The
Us,
Last of
man,
Us ran flawlessly. The accessibility options were,
incredible.
know,
Like it just
yeah,
felt
second to
like
none.
it's. I mean, it's kind of what's the word?
Gold standard.
Well, it's a lot of people say it, but it's literally like watching a movie like happen in front of you. Like it's just
Yeah.
it's that good, and I just think that story is so good, so good.
So,
I'm okay with switching it. Let's swap them.
yeah.
Just
think,
because I think, or just the bugs. You have that has to be. Although they fixed them, but I mean, I'm not gonna go back and play it at this point. But that I think
it's
that
kind
has
of-
to have
is
something
a
to do
little
with it. Yeah, The Last of Us was just pretty much
It was just such
perfect
an
through the whole
experience.
thing. I know you didn't love like the hospital scene, right? With the Rat King or whatever, right?
Oh, I forgot that I remembered it, but I didn't know if that was in Last of Us 2 or like another zombie game. But yes, I did not like that part.
I was okay with that part. I thought it was a interesting
I
boss
didn't know
fight.
I didn't know you could jump into another room. I thought I just had to like circle strafe around.
Oh yeah, I
the
ran
guy.
like hell when I first like I shot him a few times and just
Yeah.
ran and like jumped over a
I should've
couple
done
of
that.
desks and stuff and then just kind of flanked around him and just kind of kept doing that.
In that case, I think it would have been a lot easier.
Yeah. But that whole lead up to that point was pretty cool though, just like and it made sense because like as you know, I mean it was like one of the first infected, so it was
It's like
pretty
kind of
cool.
ground zero of
Yeah, it was pretty cool to see that.
infection.
Okay, so right now, at number 5, Mario 3D All Stars. 4 is Doom Eternal. 3 is Assassin's Creed Valhalla. 2 is Ori and the Will of the Wisps, and at number 1 is Last of Us 2.
I like that list. I think that's
I think it's a good
solid year
list. Yeah,
right there.
yeah. For 2020, had some good games. We had some good games, and I definitely. So last year, my resolution for gaming was to play and beat more games, and I think I definitely did that for sure. I played
Yeah.
a lot of games this year. Game Pass definitely helped as well.
Shout out Game
Um,
Pass.
shout out our weekly shout out to Game Pass. Um, but yeah, I mean, 2020 as a year sucked, but for gaming, I think it did pretty good. I mean, I think Nintendo.
Wasn't as great.
Yeah, I mean, Nintendo is not as great. They just didn't have. They had what, Paper Mario. I mean, they had
Animal
like Pikmin
Crossing.
3, Animal Crossing. I mean, I mean, they made a lot of money. They sold a lot of money. They made a lot of money with Animal Crossing alone.
Yeah.
And a lot of money with 3D All Stars. But as a overall excitement for Nintendo, it was definitely down for sure. I mean, the Mario event was cool to see, the stuff that they announced. And I mean, Xbox didn't really have a ton going on for it either. They had Will o' the Wisps that came out, Gears Tactics,
Flight Simulator.
Flight
on PC.
Simulator. Of course, Series X launched, and it's a pretty excellent machine so far. But I mean, the games are kind of what it needs at this point right now. So, and then PlayStation. You know, when we didn't play like Ghost of Tsushima, which that would probably been higher on our list if we had. What else did we not play?
Didn't have Miles Morales.
Miles Morales, that probably would have been decently high.
Demon Souls would be it for me, probably.
Demon Souls. So we missed a lot of good games, but most of those games came to the PS5 anyways. So, but
and then we don't have Cyberpunk on here.
Yeah,
I don't know if we'll consider that next year. I mean, I think at this point I'm gonna wait until the Series X version comes out.
Yeah, I'm definitely in that boat too. I'm just gonna wait.
Yeah, so maybe we'll consider next year because that'll be like a newish game for the Series X.
Yeah, or at least include it into our honorable mentions of previous year, because yeah, I think I'm definitely just gonna wait at this point. And I really just, aside from like Elder Scrolls, I do not think I'm a huge like first person RPG fan. Like I don't really like Fallout. I mean, I've played 3 and 4 and beat them, but it was kind of a drag for me. And I didn't really like Outer Worlds either. And that's a Fallout kind of game, and I just didn't like it. I don't know what it is about it.
In the same boat. I like third-person RPGs.
Yeah, third-person RPGs I love. And then like Elder Scrolls, like I loved Oblivion and I loved Skyrim. So it's not just first person, it's just weird. I don't know. Maybe it's just guns, like first-person guns. If it's not like a proper shooter, I guess I'm just not into it. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure it out, but I know what you mean. Like I couldn't bring myself to play any more Outer Worlds. I did love Fallout 4, but that was my first Fallout. So
okay,
you know, take that.
I mean, Fallout 4 was good, but it just wasn't like my favorite.
Right. I just thought it was cool because it was the first type of game.
Yeah,
that I played. Yeah.
But yeah, to read the list one more time. Number 5, Mario 3D All Stars. Number 4, Doom Eternal. 3, Assassin's Creed Valhalla. 2, Ori and the Will o' the Wisps. And the official game of the year for the Gaming with the Bros cast is Last of Us 2. So congratulations, Last of Us 2. Yoo-hoo. It's a good game. Good game.
You just won another minor award.
we award a minor award. But yeah, that's going to do the show. I knew it was going to be a long one today, even with no news or anything. But yeah, I appreciate everyone that if you caught it live, if you've been downloading the show, we appreciate you guys. We have officially renamed the podcast to reiterate it, Gaming with the Bros cast. I'll have some, not too big of a change. I'm gonna have some new artwork coming out here probably within the next week to coincide with the new year. I'm gonna get Brittany to do some shirts for us.
Oh boy.
So yeah, look forward to that. And then of course, twitch.tv/gaming with the Broscast. Give us a follow. And I think we had talked about doing some sort of giveaway at some point early next year.
Yep.
So we'll have to figure out the logistics for that. But
we'll do that via Twitter at
Yeah, yeah.
Bros on Twitter.
And we'll let you know the details of how you can enter to win that
Mhm.
that contest. But it'll likely be follow us on Twitch and follow us on Twitter, and then you'll be nominated. So or
Yeah.
entered in. So
Pretty
but
easy.
yeah, and you can follow us on Twitter at Gaming WT Bros. And then if you want to email us, gamingwiththebros@yahoo.com. And I think that's it. Nick, anything else you want to say to the good people for the last episode of the year?
You know, it's been a hard year. There's been a lot of terrible things that have happened, but I
Yeah.
feel like 2021, that's our year.
Yeah.
Not just me and you, Harrison, but
Yeah.
everybody. It's everybody's year.
Yeah, I hope
year.
hope so. I just got a message today that we're going to be in still working from home till at least April 1st. So
Same for us. Yeah.
So I mean, I'm not mad about that. I've enjoyed it so far. And yeah, look, I think good things are coming for the Gaming with the Bros podcast.
I think
Gaming
so.
with the Bros cast. I think we're gonna make our way up and up in the world. I think
we're
we're over 750 downloads. So
Mhm.
it's been crazy, man. We've had a lot this year. So it's been. I love doing this podcast. It's one of the highlights of my week, and yeah, it's good times.
Look forward to doing it 52 more times in 2021.
Yeah, exactly. All right, broski. I will see you or I will see you guys and you next week on the show.
Later.
Later.